Awesome. I hope you guys are doing all right. Let's just start off. We'll start off sitting again today. We'll do cross-legged, and let's close our eyes. Take a few breaths. Ignore the fact that your tummy is growling. Just put it off for later. Don't let that negative juju get into your brain right now. So my hope is that your week has not been over the top stressful. Hopefully this time away from everything has actually been a little bit relaxing. For me, it's helped me get things done, but that's beside the point. Try to make sure that you're focused in to this couple of minutes, focused into how you're feeling, to what's going on with you. And leaving all the other stuff for whenever you're done. So not letting your mind wander off. Try to just focus in here for a few moments. We're having a problem with the video thing here. There we go. All right. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, drop your chin to your chest. And we're going to inhale, lift the chin toward the ceiling. Big breath in, exhale, and drop your chin to your chest again. This time we're going to take our chin and trace our collarbone up toward the side. So we're keeping our head folded forward, but we're turning that chin toward the top of the shoulder. Then we're going to inhale, draw it through the center, past the middle of the collarbone, and then up to the other shoulder. And then down again, toward the middle. You can lift your head up nice and tall, and then just drop the ears shoulder to shoulder. And then turn the head left and right. Very good. Okay, so we're going to start off standing today. Go ahead and stand on up. I don't know why my cameras look different every time. Anyway, okay, so we're going to start by standing. And we're going to just hinge a little bit at the hips, so placing the hands on the knees. So back is going to stay flat. We're kind of lengthening through the spine for a second here. So rather than like collapsing down this way, try to push up so that your chest is slightly lifted. And your tailbone is kind of pulling back away from your head. Take a second and just kind of turn the chest and shoulders off toward one side. And yawn. Don't forget to yawn. And then again, turning through the center and turning the chest and shoulders the other way. So it's not like a big movement. We're just kind of rotating just a little bit. Again, inhale, move through the center. Exhale to turn. Turning to look to one side. You can hear the wind going through my wind chimes. Inhale through the center. Exhale to the other side. All right, we're going to come back to the center. You can relax those hands down, reach them toward the floor. So remember, you don't have to go all the way down, especially if your back is kind of yucky, so you don't have to reach all the way down to the floor. If you want to just rest your hands on your thighs, you can. Okay, we're gonna inhale. Let's press the knees forward, the hips forward. Go ahead and bring the body up. We're gonna bring the hands behind the back and just stand chest lifted for a second here. Turn sideways so you can see lifting through the chest. Getting out the yawns. They're never gonna end. I'm never gonna stop yawning, apparently. All right, so we're gonna relax for a sec. Bring the feet in just a little bit. So my feet were kind of wide. I'm gonna bring them in maybe just a little bit narrower than the shoulders. We're going to start by bending the knees a little bit and send your hips back. We're gonna take the hands and bring them up overhead. And just setting the hips back as if you're gonna sit on a chair. So your arms kind of make that warrior shape thing, but we're just concentrating on nice flat back. Trying to keep that chest lifted, keep that tongue. I almost just said push your tongue back. Push your chin back, not your tongue. 2 more breaths. Awesome, we're gonna come up, bring your hands behind the back and lift through the chest. What if we, every time we yawned, we actually had that natural like Wookiee sound? If everybody did it, it would be pretty funny. All right, release those hands. We're gonna bring the feet even closer together now. So even closer. If you can touch your feet, touch them. If not, a little bit of space is fine, as close as you can. We're going to start by sending the hips back first. So bend the knees, send the hips back. We're gonna have the hands at the chest. And we're gonna try to turn toward the side. So same turn that we did initially. Now, if you wanna drop down and drop your elbow on your knee because you're just fancy like that, you can do that. Or just keep the body turned to the side. The idea with the hands is that you're still keeping that flat back. So you're keeping your chest lifted into your hands. Take one more breath in. And we're gonna exhale, come through the center, still flat back. We're gonna turn and face the other way. I'm gonna turn so you can see. Turn your face the other way. It's like some Bollywood dance or something. Keeping your chest lifted. Awesome, we're gonna turn back to the center, straighten up the legs, release those hands. You can spread the feet again one more time, hands behind the back and lift through the chest. I swear I sleep at night, okay? Awesome, okay, relax those hands for a sec. We're gonna get into a little bit of side stretching, just easy steps. Let's take one hand up and over, just leaning. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring the hand down, other hand up and over. Again, bringing that down, hand comes up and over. Good, and again, hand down, inhale, exhale over. One more to each side, hand comes down, reaching over, big stretch through the side. And then last one. Awesome, okay. So we are going to face long ways on the mat, so go ahead and move yourself over. We're gonna take the hands down toward the mat and walk them out. And let's end up in a downward dog. So hands go out, hips go up. Your knees can stay bent, because this is kind of the first one that we've done. We're getting a little warmed up here. So knees can stay bent. Take a couple of breaths. Awesome, big breath in. We're gonna exhale, let's drop the knees down to the mat. Keep those toes curled under. Let's get a little stretch through the feet. You can bring your hands in. We're gonna wiggle it out for a sec. So wiggling side to side. Okay, then we're gonna return to neutral. So nice flat back, chin tucked in. We're gonna get that little tuck of the tailbone that I talked about before. So tuck that tailbone under just a little bit so your lower abs are nice and tight. Pull the shoulders down from the ears. Big breath in, and as you exhale, we're gonna reach out with one hand. So nice and strong. Try not to drop your shoulders down, keep them level. We're gonna inhale, place that arm down. And as you exhale, we're gonna lift up with the opposite arm. Keep those shoulders nice and square. Bring those hands down when you're ready. You've still got your toes tucked under, shoulders are still down, so big breath in. Exhale and lift those knees up off of the mat, just hovering. Taking a couple of breaths. My belly will not stop growling. Sorry if you can hear that. I'm not farting. All right, go ahead and place those knees down. We're going to send the knees out wide, bring the big toes together, feet are flat on the mat, and you can extend backwards and open up through the shoulders. So I'm taking a second and kind of walking my fingertips forward. If you decide to do the same thing, you might feel more of a stretch through the sides of the back, which is sometimes kind of nice. All right, so we're gonna pigeon it out. We're gonna bring the body forward. Let's bring the knees in. We're gonna take one knee and bring it up toward the front of the mat, cross it over to the other side, and we're gonna sit on down. So I've got my back leg a little straight. Remember, you don't have to do it this way. You can actually bend your knee if you'd rather, but I'm gonna try to straighten the leg here. We're gonna try to sit up nice and tall, giving ourselves a second here to settle in. So the cool thing about the pigeon is that whenever you sit up straight, you're stretching more the front of your back hip. And then when you lay down more, you get more into the external rotators of your front hip. So get a lot of bang for your buck here. Take a couple of breaths. So for me, I've got my foot turned down and I'm trying to actively straighten my leg as if I'm trying to pick my knee up off the floor. Now I'm not actually doing that, but that's the feeling I have through the leg. And that's just to maximize this stretch here on that back leg. So feel like you're actively pushing that foot down if you want to increase that stretch. We're going to walk the hands forward slightly and just ease into this stretch. So now you can keep that tension on your back foot. You can keep that pressure down into the floor and you'll feel the stretch change, but you'll still get a pretty good stretch in the front and the back hip. If you'd like, you can settle the whole way down, forearms down on the mat. Give yourself a few breaths. Awesome, we're gonna inhale, let's bring it on up straight one more time. So lifting that chest, try to actively straighten through that back leg. And then we're gonna release from there. Go ahead and send that leg back. Give yourself a second to wiggle it out in case you need it. And then we're gonna repeat on the other side. So take that other leg, you're gonna bring it forward, cross it over to the other side of the mat, and then you'll settle down on that hip. So first thing we're doing is trying to sit up tall. You're trying to straighten out through that back leg. And I've got, if you can, and I've got my top part of my foot pointed down toward the floor. And this would be where you try that active straightening through your back leg. So actively trying to push the top of your foot into the floor and getting that deeper stretch through your back hip here. You could also feel like you're turning toward your front leg. Couple more breaths. I don't know where they got the name pigeon from. I don't feel like I look like a pigeon at all. Okay, we're gonna start walking those hands forward. Easing into it, keeping that tension on that back foot. And then we're going to settle those forearms down on the mat and give it a few breaths. One more big breath here. As you exhale, we're just going to come up, back into that upright position. So still straightening out through that back leg. Awesome, then we're going to push up away from the mat. Let's send that leg back. Give yourself a couple wiggles side to side. Sleeves off my hands. All right, and then just moving through cat and cow. So from here, we're going to inhale, nice and easy, arching through the spine. And exhale, we're going to round, pushing up away from the floor. I'm like talking into my shirt. I don't know if you can actually hear me. Hair off my shirt. We're going to inhale, arch through the spine again. So shoulders are being pulled down away from the ears. Shoulder blades are pulling together. And exhale to round, pushing up away from the mat. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to come back to neutral. Let's walk the hands forward. We're going to go into a high plank. So remember, high plank is either on your knees with a straight line from your shoulders down through your hips to your kneecaps, or you can tuck your toes under and pick those knees up off the floor. But don't do this. That's down dog, sort of. Back should be flat. Hips should be kind of tucked. Give it a couple of breaths. Now we're going to try something funky. Give yourself some space to bring a leg forward and see if you can push yourself up and back off of the floor with that leg. Okay, so both feet are going to be settled flat on the mat. We're going to tuck the hips under. Let's send the weight forward if it's not there already. We're going to inhale to bring the arms up overhead and hold. Settling those shoulders down. We're going to inhale. Let's straighten up that front knee. We're going to send the hands down for a moment. So send the hands down toward that front leg. And then with the opposite arm, so if you have your right leg in front, left hand, or vice versa, we're going to open up through the side of the body. So turning off to the side. Waving at your imaginary friends. Hello, friends. Let's inhale, take that hand down, send it back down toward that foot. And now if you can, pick your body up just enough so that your back ends up flat. We're going to bring the hands back, palms facing down toward the floor. Pinkies are in toward your hips, nice and flat like we were toward the beginning. And then we're going to take a big breath in, exhale, relax those hands down, push the body up. You can push it on back. Pull your shorts out of your butt and then turn side to side. Easy turn. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna go in a high plank again because you got that lovely work on that first leg to push off from the floor. So now you have to do the other leg. So let's place the hands down, walk them out, and end up in a high plank. Remember, high plank can either be on your feet or on your knees. That's up to you. Try to make a straight line from your shoulders down through your hips and either ending at your knees or at your heels. We're gonna take the other leg this time. Let's move it forward, as far forward as you can go. Rock your body back. Rock your body. And then come up off the floor. Awesome. Okay, so remember, first things first, hips are tucked slightly. We're gonna move our weight forward, keeping those feet flat. We're gonna inhale and bring the arms up overhead. Bring in a couple of breaths. We're gonna slightly straighten through that front leg, send the hands down, reaching down toward the mat. And then taking that opposite arm, we're gonna open up toward the side. So turning that body. One more breath here. We're gonna exhale, send the hands down again. Remember, the next one is like our Superman pose. So we're gonna inhale, push the body up away from the floor just to flatten out the back. Bring the hands back and feel like you're tucking your hands into your side. So pinkies are pulled in toward the sides of your body. Lots of strength in your upper back. Chest is lifted. One more big breath in. We're gonna exhale, relax those hands, push the body up, and pull back away from the floor. Awesome. We're gonna be on the mat for our last couple of minutes. So go ahead and lay on down. Oh, we got up and down 100 million times. And you can place your feet flat on the floor. So hands are gonna go off to the sides. Just take a second to relax through the spine. We just did like a whole bunch of stretchy, spiny things. Spine stretchy things. And a lot of back strengthening things. So feet are flat. And if you'd like, nice and easy, you can just rock the knees side to side, keeping those feet connected to the floor. Go ahead and recenter those knees. We're gonna bring the arms in, bend at the elbows. Big breath in. As you exhale, push through your upper arms and through your heels to pick your butt up off of the mat, making a bridge. So remember, not the normal yoga bridge that's super way up there, just tucking through the hips, squeezing through your glutes. Big breath in. Exhale and lower down. You can straighten out both legs. Stretch your arms up overhead. Leaving one arm up, we're going to inhale. Let's take one hand, nice and slow, all the way down toward the mat. And then once it reaches the mat, you can lift it up over your face again and then back to the floor. Repeating on the other side. So we're going to inhale, take that arm away from the floor, down to the mat, nice and controlled. And then once again, floating that arm over your face and then back overhead. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna get into a comfortable position for our last couple of minutes. You can either stay here, face up on the ground, or you can flip over. Just close your eyes and breathe for a moment. For the sake of the video, we'll just lay here for 1 more minute, but obviously you're at home, so you can lay here as long as you would like. Thank you folks for tuning in today. We're going to be in the same format next week. So if you have any requests before then, feel free to shoot me a message. You guys are awesome. Thank you to the guys who've been donating and whatnot. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Anyhow, I'll see y'all next week. Bye.